Friday nights with friends, busy drinks, feeling sick from sweets and getting overly annoyed at losing the football, or soccer as some may say. That's my youth club, my safe space, a place I want to be a part of running. With the cheapest grey sofas, simple wooden coffee tables, table tennis table, pool table, and the mural of the quote of Joshua 1:9. This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go, written in blue paint. This small mobile with a dodgy toilet is my safe space, meaning that as a safe space, it allows me to feel supported, surrounded, and of course, sugar-filled. No matter whether I am upset or annoyed or angry, I always walk out of the plain white door with a smile on my face. Before this year, 2025, my safe space did not exist. I felt alone, abandoned, and waiting for support. Since being born in November 2007, I was yet to experience the comfort and the feeling of being truly supported that is given by a safe space. Till my youth club formed at the start of this year. With my youth leaders, Gareth, a 6-foot bald rugby player, Bethany, a lovely and accepting additional needs teacher, Dan, a playful IT worker, and Natalie, a youthful accident and emergency nurse. They helped me feel supported by being up for a chat about boys, parties, faith, and anything else. They help anyone and everyone, whether through sport, music, or whatever you need. Being able to express myself freely allows me to grow and feel supported. After experiencing this level of support, it has helped me understand the need for others to have it too. This is my why. This is why I want to help create a safe space in the future for teens in my local community, so that no one feels as alone and isolated as I did during COVID-19. COVID-19 felt isolated for all of us, but as an only child, completely cut off from the rest of society, it has left an eternal mark on me. What I thought was my safe space at the time was my room. The grey room with little daylight, a bed, and myself. That was my safe space. Looking back now, I realise that was false. It made me feel more alone than ever, not supported, not growing, and not safe. I went weeks without sunlight, days without talking to people, and hours without feeling at all. It was completely dehumanising, and I was and am not alone in having experienced this situation. Speaking of dehumanising, paramilitaries run Northern Ireland with their main goal to completely dehumanise it. Paramilitaries are organisations that are organised similar to military forces. The paramilitaries in Northern Ireland were mainly set up during the Troubles. The Troubles were a civil war between Protestants and Catholics. So the paramilitaries all fit into these two categories. Big surprise for folks that know Northern Ireland. In my local communities, Cumber and Newtownards, paramilitaries are a way of life. Children grow up around them and are lulled into them, being told it is the right thing to do. In reality, they are not. They commit arson, thefts, and are one of the main reasons why Northern Ireland as a whole cannot move on from the Troubles. I ask you to think about your journey here today and how it looked like. Was the sun shining, birds chirping, and lovely views? My journey to church is not. I passed ruins of buildings that have been burnt, sectarian murals, and shattered windows. These acts of violence and hatred are committed by folks my age, 17, the ones who will get the smaller sentences. This is what the younger people in my community think a safe space is. These damaging and toxic environments produce a false sense of security through a sense of belonging and supposed support, which all disappears when they start to face time. I want to make sure there's a safe space for folks aged 8 to 18 to be truly supported, cared for, and given a place to grow, a place they truly belong. I want this safe space to be somewhere and something that is accessible to all, a place that does not discriminate due to someone's accessibility needs, race, or economic status. The economic status is particularly important to me. In 2019, I sat my transfer tests. These are tests that children in Northern Ireland sit to help decide what school they're going to get into when moving from primary to secondary, elementary to middle school here. I was very privileged to be accepted into one of the best schools in the country, Strathern. However, I quickly learned within my first couple of months that others had been more financially privileged than me, and had actually paid to get their place instead of getting their place due to their transfer test score. Due to that, many of my fellow students are very well off, or as we would say, minted. This means that as I head into my final year of school when I return home, I have faced many occasions where I have not been able to afford an activity or fit in with the trend. An example of this is that around over half my year were given a brand new car on their 16th birthday, and around a further quarter received a second-hand one, all to themselves. This left a horrible, left-out feeling inside of me. This high-class scenario helps me see how much of a positive effect having a safe space that is accessible to all the economic statuses is. This is especially important as Northern Ireland is currently experiencing a cost of living crisis, where all the prices of products one person would need to buy is rising and their wages are not. Food banks are being massively used. Hence why the safe space I want to create needs to be accessible to all economic statuses, races and accessibility needs. Through and with the help of this programme, I want to change myself to be a more empathetic listener, in the hopes that it would allow young people in my community to feel safe and supported by knowing that their voices and opinions are heard. The youth club I referenced to earlier as my safe space is also a safe space for teenagers in my community. The mobile that sits beside my church welcomes around 70 kids each week. I want to create an affordable formal, or prom as it's known over here, for the young people of the youth club. One where there are no pressures to pass classes or be able to afford a certain dress or suit. I want to create a night of laughter where the outside world does not have an impact and teenagers can be teenagers. The resilience I gained from having to struggle with a safe space in my younger teenage years has allowed me to see the impact that a proper safe space can have. I think being able to be an empathetic leader to my community can help them become closer while still being in a playful environment, with everyone walking out the door with a smile, no matter how they came in.